So to Mr. Obama, your care, right? Bill and the kid, biding your time, love, right? Or Mr. My hand's kind of dirty right now, but you see right here, let me show you. Queen, king, jack, 10, ace. Both meet face to face. I got 2 royal flushes. Plus I'm an ace of spades. I walk like this. Like a duck. Like an arrow. I was born with a cone head. Walk with my feet out. You know, you can kind of see, I mean, trump card, trumpet. I am the Antichrist. I'm anti-crisis. I don't think people should live in crisis. I think people should be protected and they should be safe and live the way they so see it fit without being elected and overthrown in 10 minutes. I don't think eating of another person, the body of Christ, in denial is a good thing either, do you? Putting people into a state of crisis to achieve off of them and feed upon them, fill your jails and your appointment with them by putting them in there. Isn't that first-degree manslaughter? Isn't that foreign code and policy? Isn't that not standing your ground as an elected official and becoming a foreign immigration? Subdividing the people within inside the system and then blaming illegal aliens when you're an illegal alien yourself in subdivision. So if you do not stand your ground of your own moral code and compass and you subdivide and you start divorcing families and getting into that and causing fear and pain and blanketing and subdividing them, you've subdivided within their own foundation to overthrow the independence. You've built structure and impeded into the behavioral, mental structure into family and homes. Didn't say policy and ordinance. Monk Paul, and Stacy. Hi, how are you? That sweet girl just came up and gave me a chocolate bar and 2 chewy granola bars. Very sweet. She remembered my name. She spoke to me a couple weeks ago. You know, they say when you can't work, thank you. Stand at the gate and try to count. What a sweet girl. It's not about really the money or the donut. Nah, coppers, I got your donut coffee this morning, didn't I? Anyway, it's sad to see that children are growing up just like the birds and the bees. This bee can fly up and land in my hand. I could hear it. I'm sick of serving this queen. I want to fly my own way. I looked really close on the back of the bee, and I could see this woman in a black dress. A very beautiful woman. I lifted the spirit, and there was a crow right there, a raven. I lifted the spirit, and I watched that spirit attached to that raven. That was one of my biggest problems, because the raven always attacked the owl. They swarm around him. Ah! You have a good day, brother. And so, you know, hold on real quick. So, Anyway, I've had owls with me since I was a kid. They've always been with me. But they swarm. The owl, these ravens. Just like the cops, they swarm me, they come after me. Cops are always infecting our nature. So is the Education Board and DMV. So, Geneva Convention has a nuclear power plant there now. Takes big plumes of cloud, blocks the sun, blocks natural light, causes an extra 3 months of winter. The problem is the block light or natural light. Think about what that causes, how that affects the earth. It's like moving waterways or putting them in concrete vaults so it can't water the earth. Oh, that's one thing that makes me mess with waterways. Creating man-made waterfalls. Like creating falls in your life or blocking your children's light, right? Your own light. And then they send it out to California. It's called the California sky. Utah's mountains were full of trees. There is no trees no more. It's all sandhills. It's turning into what the future is, and that is Egypt. You can already see in the mountain ranges the Sphinx. I know where the 3 pyramids are and all that stuff, and it expands out. So the deal is not to get it to Egypt. Keep it nice and green. So what we do is we flood the fields out there, the salt fields, with a thin layer of water. The sun hits that and it creates an environment. Okay? Waters the plants. Problem is, in Delta, they cut the water off. Things Snake River into the Columbia. To deprive the land of the water, and it runs back out into the sea. So they went back and they blocked it before. So that water can't come in and flow and circulate. All right? The water's supposed to come right into the Great Salt Lake, circulate all the way back out and back in. Water gates, right? You guys wouldn't know this because they went back and they've done it before. And reflection, they knew. Well, they didn't know. They're working on because they're in the subdivided, holding each other in pain. Have no clue. They're just holding on. Problem is, it's going to be a very painful position with expansion, because if you're on time, you know what it's going to take them to go through what I went through to take what I have. I'll give it to you for what I paid for, plus expansion. 400 billion years, and this was just. So let me explain. Before my birth, it was 20 days, 20 days, 20 nights. Because it was in subdivide, 20 and 20, okay? 20 days, 20 nights. Still the same. 10 seconds, 10 hours, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and whatever. It's pressure from the beginning. So they lived a full life and still are living a full life. But compared to expansion of what one of my hours is compared to back then would be a year or 2. Because life was of a different density of expansion. All right? So it meets back up in 2020 and overlays and then goes back. So the dead line was supposed to be 2011, but it's 2020. It wasn't 2020. It was uncharted sea. That's the end of the world, end of the planet right there. Boom. Everybody went into COVID, the ground, bam. You know what I mean? But just because it's the end of the planet doesn't mean it's the end of your world. You'll never see that. It means you're born to your own world from your own view and given your own world. Find balance and happiness. A big earthquake. That earthquake is that emerging sea. So every heritage your family the family feuds is to let them go, because the earth will take care of it. It will always give you balance, and that's actually what I'm doing. I've had to go through and solve all the problems, even though they're not my problems. I still have to give balance. I have to give a reason. What is your reason is the biggest thing. Reason. You have to have reason. You are a reason. You're a beautiful light. Love yourself. Honor yourself. Why would you call a bird, a deer, or any of these other things that are expression of your emotion at a different vibration and a reflection and reaction to whom you are from what's in with what's without, a reflection of each other? So why would you call a creation flawed and sinner, or bow or follow? I don't like when people make me follow or bow. It makes me have to stand higher and harder. Honor thyself. Stand equivalent to your parents. Don't stand upon each other's head and say one's got to work for you. One child's not allowed to rule the other child. They work together. They're best friends. You understand? You hunt your own backyard. You don't hunt my innocent nature, because mine is very innocent nature. It is my memories. You hunt your own ignorance, your own wrongdoing. Better get with your land. Figure out what it means instead of corralling. So go down the side of the light. It's like a cheese grater. And then you look at the cattle truck. Cow says, go down the side of the light. You run into the wall. Go down the side. When you massacre and you corral these animals and you open up that ring, that heavenly tone, you know, like Halloween Bell, that's that freedom, let freedom ring, the bell of atonement, the tone, the vibration. You stick your hand in that vibration, it'll crack your bell. Precious metal is important. Look how happy I am. I got a glow to me. Your happiness is that expression. So if you crave gold, you'll have no gold. You'll have a bunch of magnetic metal, okay? He'll give you the opposition. If you're all balanced and centered, you know, my beach is aligned with gold, but I really don't want them. I'd rather you be happy. It's on the Federal Reserve. They actually put that in there. European Federal Reserve and Human Relations. So they could charge me and keep taking from me. European Union? Oh, that's just the table. Maybe you want to put your 12 apostles there and the Knights of the Round Table and the crown upon my head while you rule me from above by your judgment, because if you enter my heavenly state or my creation up here and you look down and read, you are what binds my hands, shoves the sword in my spine, you are the crown of thorns upon my head. Your judgment, your society against my being, at many different lights I am many. I wonder what I look like right now, what I speak through time that doesn't exist in moments. See, that's the thing. As I go all the way from beginning to end, and how you perceive me to be at your different angle in moments. I can't tell if you're from the 60s, I can't tell if you're from the 40s. I only see what I know. It's hard to see somebody else's light. You only see what you know. You'll be able to open up and to see another light into these other properties. It's a much different stories, and I have trillions of different properties. Fairies and gypsies and a log that's just exuding life. There's many ways of life. There's many different properties that are beyond your imagination. There are stars way out in their own planet of natural order. You see, when you take somebody's representation and you install these foreign codes within yourself against your own independence and against your life as a code enforcement of policy, you're attacking your own infrastructure. And it becomes, they want to call cancer. Cancer's beautiful. She's my wife. Cancerian crab is beautiful out there at sea. they put it into a celestial body to say that she's a crab and she's bad. She's not bad, she's beautiful. Being overtaken by Hippocratic oath that they protect. And the oath is to do no harm. That's the oath that you've taken as if you're working with people to care for them, to be of good service, to work for the people of Independence. Not your business, not say Walmart's the property owner and get the fuck off the property because they don't have property. They belong to me, not the other way around. You come into my intellect and you pull from C and you pull everybody I know upon that shore into the imagination where these people cannot see that you're not supposed to work and live in the creation of the imagination. You're supposed to live in your flesh, not be subdivided, and keep these people in a heavenly state while they destroy the true ground zero earth. Because if I go, you all go. That's why I hear you all near me. And they deceive and cover me up. You need to believe in yourself. Use your own imagination. Become an adult and learn the difference and be like a child. And that comfort of everything around, that you're safe. You don't need police departments and all this shit that's trying to make money off you and feed upon you. Eating the flesh is disgusting. You have your own sorrow and thing. If I open up your backyard and you got ravaged beasts back there, I'd be afraid to walk in your backyard. Some of yours. Because I try to keep that bond between the animal kingdom, and you. Better do very good too. I have a mouse who's all scared in the parking lot. I'll sit up. I go down. I sit next to him. He knows me right away. Picks his head up, boom, and he just disappears. Right? He's in my jacket somewhere. You can't feel him. And then he hops out like 2 weeks out of the truck. He's like, "See, dude, I'm good. I feel better." That's somebody's life. At a reflection of distance, these mammals are actually that. You chased a deer out in the street and you didn't do proper land and surveillance where you tore down those trees. You know, Abraham Lincoln didn't cut down that cherry tree. It's called cutting down somebody's lifeline. You go in there and discriminate, persecute, and you take all their family from them, take everything, and you deny them. Cutting down their lifeline, the tree of life. And then trying to hide and cover up what you've done because it's still in a house. But now you're in my home, committing domestic assaults and domestic violence. Black Lives Matter, and call the FBI and they say, "Well, are you black? Or are you Mexican?" Well, then you're not protected. Violence Against Children Act, which they're doing to me and my children, my wife, desecrating the flag, trampling all over it. Man, you push me over, I still got my beer in hand. Whoa! You ain't got enough? No, I'll be doing somersaults. I still save that beer. I don't give a shit. Nope. Still who I am. Still that young, innocent boy that you're just beating the shit out of and denying and saying, well, and then you can't even look at it. You're like, oh, you're mad at me because I still stand. And you lost your grounds, and now you've installed a foreign code and ordinance of a foreign governance against Geneva Convention. And they're in a full-on war with yourself and everything else because you had to have a Bible. You couldn't believe in your internal compass that you could close your eyes and just lead by your heart and let somebody else, like a church, hang their hat in your bed. Yeah, Evelyn slept with the bishop, but John slept with the bishop first because he let him in the house to teach his children. And the education board and the governance of somebody else instead of your own life, which they'll face problems with, and your own heritage, and promote them to stand independently so you can work hand in hand and work together for your own freedom.